Sometimes you just need some tea. Hi, this is Pastor John David, and today I want to talk about the top 10 reasons why I should join a church plant. And I've titled this also, Why Should I Leave My Church, my current awesome church, to go start a new one? Why would anybody do that? I like my church. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm doing good. Everything's fine. Why would I start a new church? So there's 10 things I came up with just off the top of my head. I want to share them with you and think about this. Number one, God calls us to go. God calls us to go, reach the nations. God calls us to go. And every time that God's called us to go, sometimes our tendency is to not go. Our tendency is to just stay comfortable. I think of the Tower of Babel, where after the flood, God told the people, go into all the nations and fill the earth, start multiplying all over the place. And what our tendency was to say, no, we're kind of happy here in Babylon. Why don't we just stay here? It's big, it's nice, we're building a nice tower, we'll get to chill and be comfy, and let's just stay here. And God had to confuse the languages to get us to go. Another time something similar happened. The church was in Jerusalem, and the new church, the baby church, and God said, go to all the nations and preach the gospel. And we were like, no, we're kind of happy here. They were hanging out, they were gaining favor, they were really excited, they were growing, and God had to send a persecution to kind of force the Christians to get out of their comfort zone and go. And through that, the gospel spread all over the nations. And just read the book of Acts. And I think sometimes a lot of people are called to go plant new churches, and we just get comfortable. And I think God is calling us to go. So think about obeying that call. The second reason I think is a good reason to plant a church is because the need is huge. There are so many people. There are never enough churches. Sometimes we go, well, there's a church on every corner. But you know what? There's like 60 to 80% of people who don't go to church. So are you content with 60 to 80% of people not going to church? We need more churches to reach more people, to reach more different kinds of people. There aren't enough churches in the world. We could fill up all of the chairs that we have in Austin and multiply it by 2. If every church were full in Austin, church building were full in Austin, and multiplied that by 2, you still wouldn't even scratch the surface of the people who never go to church and never know God. And so God is calling us to reach people, and the need is there. There's a huge, huge need. Are you just content with people's lostness? A new church plant is a new opportunity for people to know God. Number 3, it is a great way to stretch your faith. You want to grow your faith. You want to make your faith real in your experience. Trust God with your life, with your church, with your community that you're building. Go plant a church. If you don't want to stretch your faith, just kind of do what you do and stay the same and don't change. It's a wonderful opportunity to stretch your faith. Number 4, it is a great way to love the city. A new church with a great strategy and a joy of loving others is a great way to love the city. The city needs, every city, but Austin needs a new church, a great church. We need more churches. And so it's a great way to love your city, reaching to more people through a new church plant. Number 5, what a great way to meet new people. What a great way to stretch yourself relationally by joining a church planting team, meeting these new people, creating new relationships, growing in those relationships, doing something together. You'll make lifelong friends, and you're reaching the lost. We'll be reaching out to people who don't know God. So what a wonderful way to meet new people, to get involved with something eternal, with new friends, or bring your old friends. Bring some friends with you to help plant the church. That'd be great too. Okay, number 6. The church is the hope of the world. So what a great investment in your life. It is meaningful. Planting a church is the greatest thing you could ever do. It is powerful to plant a church. It is the hope of the world because we have the message of the gospel to tell people the love of Christ. Planting a church means something. It's the most important work there is on earth. We're not selling pizzas. We're not making widgets. We're we're helping people know God and grow in that relationship. Evangelism and discipleship, challenging them to walk with God, to be the person God calls them to be, and to do the things that God calls them to do, to obey, to be disciples, to be good followers. What a beautiful thing to give your life to. What a beautiful thing. It's great meaning in planting a new church. Number 6, it's going to be the funnest thing you'll ever do. Planting a church is fun. It's an adventure. It's always great to see what God's going to do, what happens next, how God's going to provide for the next need, how God's going to do a great thing. So what a wonderful thing to be a part of. Number 8, so you'll have lots of fun planting church. Number 8, it's going to be the hardest thing you ever do. Yeah, it's lots of fun, but it's hard. It's hard to get into that work, to do that new work. And I think a lot of us are kind of just comfy with where we're at because it's easy. It's easy to just kind of do the routine and do the same thing. And it's hard to challenge yourself. It's hard to take a step. It's hard to make a move. It's hard to do something that's different. And I kind of reckon it to playing on Team B or Team A. I remember when I played football in high school, I was really good because I was tall and I could run and they catch the ball really good, so I was always making touchdowns. And I was on the junior varsity team, and they were like, hey, why don't you play on the senior team? And so they moved me up, bumped me up to be part of the senior team, but I was on the B team, so I never played. I just kind of was on the bench, and they were using me up in practice just to help the other guys get better. I never played in the games. And I went to the coach, I said, Coach, can I go back to the JV team? Because I'm on Team A on the JV team. I'm actually playing the game. I think a lot of us, we're kind of on Team B. We're going to church, and we're kind of using our gifts a little bit, and we're kind of doing stuff, but we're not playing the game. We're not involved in the process of building and growing and developing ourselves and others. And so it's the hardest thing you'll ever do, and that's number 9. It's the best thing you'll do to help you use your talents and your gifts. You will be on Team A. You will be playing, you will be using all of your gifts. You will be multitasking. You will be doing multiple things that will be using your talents and abilities that maybe they're sitting on the bench in a big church or your current church. Maybe you're not really being used by God. You're just kind of sitting there, warming the seat, giving a little bit of money, maybe serving every once in a while, but that engagement is not there. So let's get on Team A. Let's get you on the A team, and let's get moving and active. And then the last thing is just what a wonderful way, number 10, the best use of your time, talents, and treasures. What an incredible way to serve God with your time, putting your energy into planting that new church, with your talents, using all of your gifts and abilities, what we just talked about, and your treasure, making something count with your money, an eternal investment in a thriving church that's going to help develop people and grow people in all the areas of their life. Okay, those are my top 10 reasons to join a church plant, or why should I leave my current awesome church to start a new one. Have a great day.